Left of the box. Where's the media coverage on this, says Faye Johnstone. Where are expressions of concern, solidarity from politicians of all stripes? Apparently, we're getting bomb threats here in Canada for drag show events, storytime drag shows. A statement from Rainbow Collective, Thunder Pride, and Wiggins Productions on the bomb threat made on Saturday, March 16th towards storytime with T-Bay drag queens at the Thunder Bay Public Library. Storytime with Drag Queens is an essential initiative that promotes diversity, inclusivity, and acceptance in society by bringing drag queens into libraries to read stories to children. Storytime with Drag Queens fosters a sense of understanding and celebrates differences of all kinds. These events acquaint children with various identities and help break down age-old but persistent stereotypes from a young age. Moreover, Storytime with Drag Queens serves as a platform for LGBTQIA+ individuals to share their stories and struggles, empowering both children and adults to embrace authenticity and individually in themselves and others. Attacking Storytime with Drag Queens with a bomb threat not only undermines the safety of the participants and attendees, but also aims to instill fear and division within the community. This reprehensible act not only disrupts the event, but also sends a chilling message that spaces of inclusion and celebration can be threatened, discouraging individuals from participating in similar initiatives in the future. Ultimately, such attacks reinforce the importance of standing united against bigotry and violence and continuing to support events like Storytime with Drag Queens as a beacon of acceptance and understanding. You can always check out the rest of the statement. It is a fairly long statement. I'll just skip down to the bottom. We refuse to let fear and intimidation deter us. A new generation of activists inspired by the bravery of those who came before us will prevail. Together, we will overcome adversity and pave the way for a brighter, more inclusive future. So what is it that the right is always talking about, keeping children safe? Bomb threats don't keep children safe. And it does intimidate children to think that, they were just going to go to have a fun little story read to them, and suddenly they can't because the venue's being closed by a bomb threat. Like, could you imagine being a child thinking that the event that you were so excited to go to is being shut down because of something like that? Now, I know, last year during Pride in June, I went to some of the Pride events in my area, and even then, I was still worried. I'm worried something big will happen, a big attack will happen. And then in my area, we did have an attack at the University of Waterloo with the stabbing. Fortunately, nobody died in it, but 3 people were very drastically injured, and the entire class was traumatized by what had happened. And that person was specifically targeting gender studies, people like me. And I'm worried that it's just the rhetoric that we see out in public with the right wing, the way they're amplifying it, the way that they're dismissing it. You have social media like Twitter, which is just completely embracing it. It's going to make things more dangerous, and well, that's the point. That's what they want. And so it's important that we keep on fighting back and we keep on pushing forward. But here is an actual article on this. So this wasn't covered by national news. You have local news like Thunder Bay, CBC covered it. But getting this on the national stage to get Canadians aware that this happened, it wasn't really a thing. So as with most stories and stuff that I cover, most of them you can find online if you search for them. But important stories like, I don't know, a Tiki Torch March in Alberta that is full of racism and is a send-off was inspired by Charlottesville and stuff of that sort. That wasn't national news. You had to find the articles. If you knew to look for it, you could find them. And it's the same as this. Where are the news stories about it? Nationally, not just locally. Community provides supports after bomb threat at Thunder Bay Drag Queen Storytime event. Please continue to investigate after no credible threat was found. People are rallying around Thunder Bay's LGBTQ plus community after a bomb threat was made against drag queen Storytime event was scheduled to happen over the weekend. Thunder Bay Public Library received the threat on Saturday ahead of Storytime with Thunder Bay drag queens event planned for later that day. The event was canceled and the facility was closed for the rest of the day as a precaution. The Thunder Bay Police Service says no credible threat was found, but an investigation remains ongoing. Incidents like this are significant draw on the police resources and are disruptive and disparaging to many community members, says a statement from the TBPS issued Monday afternoon. While people have the right to voice their or demonstrate their views that oppose inclusivity initiatives, those who choose to break the law are subject to criminal charges. Thunder Bay threat comes amid rising anti-LGBTQ sentiment in Canada over the past few years. Statistics Canada most recent report on hate crime says that 2022 marked an all-time high for police-reported hate crimes motivated by sexual orientation with 491 cases. That's a 12% rise from the previous all-time high in 2021. The purpose of the Storytime events is to educate children and families about diversity while celebrating people's differences in a safe, inclusive space, according to the organizers. Attacking Storytime with drag queens with a bomb threat not only undermines the safety of the participants and attendees, but also aims to instill fear and division within the community, says a joint statement that we had just gone over. Storytime with Thunder Bay drag queens will return in April, but continues on in April and continue on a monthly basis for the foreseeable future, says the library. The Thunder Bay Public Library is open to all, and proudly so. We stand in solidarity with Thunder Bay's 2S LGBTQIA+ community and are committed to continuing to present inclusive Storytime, says Tina Munrose, Director of Communities with the Thunder Bay Public Library media release Monday. We encourage everyone to attend and participate in the equity, diversity, inclusivity Storytime with Thunder Bay drag queens. What kind of dark soul do you have to see an event like this and immediately think it's sexualizing children? It's making them gay or trans or something of that sort. To see a drag queen flamboyantly dressed up, playful, almost like a character from a fairy tale, telling a fun story to children to make them smile and laugh and all that sort of stuff. It's a performance. To look at that, to look at children smiling, happy, feeling included, not feeling shy about who they are. To look at that and think, you know what, I need to shut that down with a bomb threat. What does that say about where the society is going? It is so frustrating that we constantly have to deal with these, and then the comments that you get on these stories of people just saying they're all groomers and perverts and things of that sort, when in actuality this sort of thing has been going on for years and years and years. It just, now suddenly it's a big deal. Now suddenly it's an issue to have this. I don't see this outrage over a pantomime or performance or other theater performances, but specifically for an event that people choose to go to, parents choose to bring the children to. It's not forced indoctrination. It's not being forced on people. This is a choice. And our choices are being taken away by these hateful, bigoted people.